Where the Gqeberha High Court is hearing closing arguments in the rape trial against televangelist Timothy Omotoso and his co-accused. Omotoso, along with Lusanda, Sulani and Zukiswa, Sitho, are facing 32 charges, which include rape, sexual assault, human trafficking and racketeering. Newzroom Afrika Sipha Kema is there and following those procedures. Sipha, you've been in court and of course you've been watching this case unfold. It is a moment where this all comes to a head and it's not been without its drama.
Absolutely, and today also did not disappoint as far as the drama is concerned, Iman. I mean, at closing arguments, we were expecting to be in that courtroom for most part of the day, but it was quite short. Listening to the state starting with their closing arguments, but interrupted by the judge mid-submission, where the judge was stopping them as advocate Jules Caesar was making references to some of the testimony that were given by the witnesses in part of his closing arguments. But then the judge stopped him and asked him whether some of this information that he's bringing in and some of the evidence that he's referencing were the accused cross-examined regarding this evidence. And advocate Caesar then said, no, but the accused would have denied, these questions, or some of the questions that were put to them, they had denied. But it seemed as though this was not good enough for the judge, Iman, as Judge Skuman continued to say that, asking advocate Caesar whether is this the way cross-examination is done, because only questions were put to the accused. What they said in their testimony wasn't challenged by the state, and that's some of the questions of what actually happened today inside that courtroom. Of course, the defense attorney now taking advantage of that opportunity, also bringing in his closing submissions, stating that the accused were not cross-examined enough. Some of the evidence that was led throughout the years were not brought forward, or rather not emphasized enough in the questioning, where the questions were just put to the accused. Now we're going to speak to the NPA spokesperson, Jali, as Mr. Jali, it did not look good there for the state during the closing submissions.
We believe that the judge still has to weigh the evidence that was presented in court in its entirety. Remember, we were given an opportunity as the state and the defense also to submit written arguments. She only raised questions in parts where she was not satisfied with what was in the submissions. If you remember, in all the heads of arguments that were argued by the state, the judge never raised any questions, apart from the fact that she said the cross-examination fell short in putting our version against the accused.
But it made it a bit difficult. I mean, just even for referencing, she even said that it's going to make it difficult for her to reference as part of the closing submissions to the cross-examination, because she feels as though there wasn't sufficient evidence brought forward, or rather questioned, during the cross-examination.
Remember, the onus was on the state to prove its case beyond reasonable doubt. And we still believe that we did exactly that. The evidence that was led by the state and our witnesses were not, the judge didn't raise any questions in as far as the credibility of that evidence. Now she's going back to actually weigh the two, weighing the evidence of the state and the evidence of the accused. Now, on our side, we believe we did enough to convince the court with the evidence we presented. Remember, a criminal case is not on the defense to prove his case. It was for us to prove our case, and we believe that we've done that.
Now, with the issues that happened with the prior advocates, the issues that were brought forward even by the defense's attorney, such as issues of perjury, do you believe that will play an effect in the decision or in the judgment that we're going to hear on the 2nd of April?
We believe that if the judge is able to weigh the evidence of the defense against the evidence, overwhelming evidence that we did put forward, we still believe that she will arrive at the correct decision, which is to find these people guilty.
All right, thank you so much, Mr. Gyali. That's Kolo Gyali from the National Prosecuting Authority in the Eastern Cape. They, Iman, of course, giving us their take that as the NPA, they still believe that they have a strong case. Now, as I mentioned, that there was an issue that was raised in allegations of perjury that were posed against the advocate in Delwa by the defense attorney, but also there were some issues of them being also reprimanded by the court, which caused an issue for the state as well as far as the evidence is concerned, but also coming to the cross-examination that we last saw in the last court appearance, where the state just took 1.5 days to cross-examine the 3 witnesses. And I mean, accused number 2 and accused number 3 only took a day for the both of them. And those were questions that were posed earlier on by the judge, saying that the state had 9 days to actually cross-examine the accused thoroughly and get those questions in and get the answers from them. But she says they failed to do that.